Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Chris. I am part of Ginger Marvin here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today we're going to be releasing our new updated version of our free reseller spreadsheet. We are also going to be releasing two videos today. That is this video, which is just an overview and showing you all the new features of the spreadsheet, or just introducing you to the spreadsheet if you haven't seen it before. And the second video is going to be a how-to video, and that's going to be how to download, how to put in all your data, how to copy your old existing data from your previous spreadsheet and putting it into this one. Basically everything you need to know to get up and rolling using the spreadsheet. I do want to ask to make sure you watch both of these videos all the way through, and that's going to give you the best start when using this new spreadsheet. So before we check out all the cool new features of the spreadsheet, I want to look back with you real quick. So originally we released the first version in November, I think it was in 2021, and we released the spreadsheet free, and I was expecting to maybe have, I don't know, a few hundred people download it. Since then, we've had almost 11,000 downloads of the spreadsheet. And that's thanks to you guys. You guys have shared it with your friends, your followers, family. You guys have just been awesome in helping the word of this spreadsheet get out. And I do want to thank you for all of that amazing support. We have also received a ton of support via either buying us a coffee or buying through the link on this spreadsheet. And yeah, the support has been absolutely amazing. So thank you for all of that support. All right, so now we're going to jump on into the spreadsheet and show you guys what you've been waiting for. All right, so looking at our dashboard, we are going to see our very first update to the new version, and that is going to be these little locks down here on some of these tabs. We've added protections to either tabs or cells on some of the pages. Basically, what that means is you're not going to be able to accidentally make changes to the spreadsheet where you should not make changes. And we've had users in the past accidentally break their spreadsheet and they didn't really know what they did. This is just a little added measure to try to prevent that in the future. It is fully customizable. You can remove the protections if you want to for your spreadsheet, but it does come default with the new spreadsheet. All right, so the next thing we're going to check out is this little section up here, and these are just some quick numbers that are really handy to have at any moment. This first one here is total cost of goods. Now, this number is going to be reading your available inventory cost to you. So this is the basically the dollar amount of your inventory that you have on hand. This next number here is your average days listed. We're going to get into more on some of the information that we have here. I'll show you. We do have a days active category now, and that's just pulling this number. This is the average days listed of your active listings. Miles driven, we have added expense log and mileage log, and that's just going to be pulling your mileage from your log and just putting it here just to give you that number whenever you want. And you'll also see down here, we've added this to the right, and this is your adjusted net profit. Now, in our previous version, we didn't really have a way of tracking returns or refunds, and in this version we do have that, and so that gives you this adjusted net profit. So you'll notice here on April we have 4 sales. Our net profit is showing 64.67, but our adjusted net profit is showing 34.02. That means that there was a return or something during that month. So this is basically a much more accurate number of how much money you are taking home before taxes. Next up, I did mention briefly about our expense log and mileage log. And yeah, so if you come to the tab here where you can see the expense log, this is where you can add in your expenses, and it gives you a total readout at the top. This is something that was a highly requested to have expenses. We even have a bills section here if you have monthly reoccurring expenses that you want to track differently. And it does the same thing here. Pretty straightforward. If you need to add more lines, you could just add more lines and it should all work just fine. We'll go over that stuff in the how-to video for sure, though. And again, mileage log, very much the same. You just have to log it out here if you would like to use this. I actually kind of recommend using an app. We've been recommended to do that, and we probably will start doing that very soon. Just obviously getting into the habit of doing something new is going to be difficult for us, but if you want to use a mileage log, there is one included in here, and it will give you, again, the readout of your total miles driven on your dashboard. All right, so next up, you're going to see down here we have these two new tabs. This is your active listings and sold listings. And this is actually a way of us to get away from using filtered views. If you used our previous version, we had a thing, and it's still active in this one if you still want to use that. But we had filtered views here on our spreadsheet on the inventory tab, and what we've done now is just pulled all that data into these new tabs so that you don't even have to filter it. It just filters it automatically and puts it all in these tabs here. So the first tab is active listings, and so basically this is going to be a full list of everything that is listed that has not been marked sold in your spreadsheet yet. And it just pulls out quick information that would be nice to have. You'll notice this little color-coded thing here on the side. It does organize these based on the date that you listed them. So basically the top item here is our oldest item in inventory that has not been sold yet. So if you're looking at your stuff that hasn't sold, you'll be able to quickly see what your top items are at any moment. Basically, you could take any action from here. It just gives you a quick reading of what your longest items are. You'll see here at the top is your average days listed. And again, that is this number here. So it's going to quickly update anytime you have, it's going to update daily basically, because these numbers are all automatic. The cool thing about this page is you don't have to do any kind of editing. It just is here and it's ready to go. Same with the sold listings. This is just everything that has been marked sold, and it is organized by the date that it was sold. So it's just a quick way to look at all of the things that have sold if you want to. And that does bring us away from, like I was saying, that does bring us away from our filtered views, which does still work here if you want to do it that way. All right, so next up is our daily totals tab. This was actually a request from Kathy. She likes to see her numbers on a day-by-day basis, and that's exactly what this is. It just gives you all of your sales information day by day and breaks out all the numbers for you in a very easy to read fashion. So you'll see here, according to this data on this spreadsheet, we have had one sale per day on these days, and this is the gross profit of those sales. This was the fees, the promoted fees, the shipping cost, the net profit, and the adjustment. I did mention earlier that we do track returns and refunds and all those kinds of adjustments now, and that is being shown here on these days. So basically just a quick day-by-day output of your sales numbers. All right, so the next and final tab we have is what I've called the At a Glance tab. And basically this is just a filterable, customizable output of your numbers. So if you wanted to see, for instance, how much money you've made selling men's shoes on eBay or like on Poshmark or eBay and Poshmark, you can do that through this. And I'll just show you how real quick, just to give you an idea of how it works. Any of these check marks is going to be the output data. So let's check out eBay and Poshmark. And with this, it's going to put out this warning here. You don't have to worry about this on this page because it's pulling the data from protected ranges on a different tab. It's not changing that data. It just gives you this warning for whatever reason. It's okay on this tab, so you have nothing to worry about. So eBay and Poshmark, let's change it to men's shoes. So you can uncheck, you can either clear, select all, and then select the ones you want. It is searchable if you have a lot of categories and stuff. But let's see what our men's shoes on eBay and Poshmark are. So this gives you all the sales numbers there. So pretty nifty to have if you want to dive into all of your numbers. Not something you're going to use every single day, but if you wanted to know very specific things, this is kind of a cool way to go in and check out those numbers. It's not going to give you the exact items that have sold, but it does give you the numbers, which is kind of really what matters. So, all right, so I might have lied to you when I said that the At a Glance tab was the last tab. We have not actually gone over the inventory tab, which is where all of the major changes have happened. So here we are at the inventory tab. It's going to look very similar, but there's some very noticeable changes. Like you'll see this day's active here. We'll get to that. You'll see I've locked these columns here. This is something you can change if you want, but basically it just makes it easier to input your data when you could see exactly what your working on at the time. So that's one change that we've made. I've also added some extra columns. So you'll see here between K and P, I have some spare columns here, which you can use to customize however you need. Like if you wanted to mark what platforms you're listing on and stuff like that, that's something you could do here. I've also added 4 on this side. So a total of 8 extra columns. You kind of have to leave these columns here. You can't really move them, but they are there if you want to add any kind of information. I do have them by default hidden so that they're not in your way. And again, if you're not using any of these columns, for instance, if you don't want to use the special designation, you can right click on that, click hide column, and that will be out of your way. If you're not using the sourced by, you can go ahead, hide column, and that will not be in your way. So that's how you're going to want to customize these things when you want to. All right, now that I've got that stuff, now that I've got that unhidden, let's show you guys the next update. You'll see here the date listed and days active column. This is a cool little feature which kind of outputs on your active listings. This is where this is reading from, and it gives you the longest listed items here. So let's, for instance, mark this one as listed on, let's say July 4th. Let's say we did this on the 4th of July. It's going to automatically output how many days active, and this is going to update every single day. It's going to add one more day. Until you mark it as sold. So if this one's sold today, we mark that goes away. And that's really nice because you're only seeing these color coordinated numbers on things that are actively listed. It's not clogging up with stuff that has already sold. But you'll notice if we make this one, if we didn't sell this one, you'll notice that this is a different color. And this basically is color coded. The greener, the younger your listing is, the more dark red it is, the older it is. And it goes on a 90-day scale. So it basically, at 90, it gets its reddest. For us, we like to see everything sell within 90 days. If it takes longer than that, then we're kind of more willing to take less money. So that's based on a 90-day scale. All right, the next update you'll see is if you scroll on over to fees, we've added a promoted fees column. This was a highly suggested and requested feature. People like to keep their fees and their promoted fees separately. Totally understand. And that's where you can put it here. So if you sell something on a promoted listing on eBay, you could put that charge here and not just lump it in with your fees on the whole listing. We've also added this adjustment column. So this is where if you have any refunds or returns, you're going to be able to take care of that on a line-by-line basis, and you can record all of that here. So for instance, on this one, the person returned it and we gave them a refund of $30. We were just so lucky enough to break even on that. Again, you're going to use this as you need it. And the nice thing is we have refunds, donate, dispose, but all of these drop-down menus are fully customizable in our drop-down menus. So if you have a different reason for an adjustment, you can add that here. I don't know what other reason you would possibly have. Maybe stolen. If something got stolen from you, then you can come back in here and mark, okay, this actually was stolen from our inventory. So cool, fully customizable, super excited about that. And again, this will give you the net profit and then the adjusted net profit based on your adjustments. So another really cool and unique feature is I've changed all the formulas over to using what's called array formulas. And you don't really need to know much about that other than it makes the spreadsheet overall work better and it's a lot easier to use. Before, if you were to add any kind of rows, you would have to extend your formulas down to all the new columns. You'd have to expand your filtered views, which was a lot of the reason why filtered views stopped working for users. And basically this just kind of helps simplify the spreadsheet overall. So you'll see here, if I wanted to add another 100 lines, I can just press add, go ahead and press OK. And all of the formulas that would not have been there are now all there because it just copies the formula all the way down. All of the information is exactly where it needs to be. It just makes the whole spreadsheet work better as a whole. So cool feature that not very many people are going to recognize, but I wanted to point it out because it does solve a lot of the problems that we've had in the previous version. All right, so that's all the new features of the updated version of the spreadsheet. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Go ahead and let us know down in the comments below what's your favorite feature, or maybe if we missed a feature that you really wanted. I do want to continue to update this in the future, and hopefully we'll do that on a better timeline. And I do want to thank you all for all the amazing patience that you've had with us while we've been trying to get this out for you. Don't forget, there will be a second video coming out today that has how to start using and implementing the spreadsheet in your business, whether or not you have used the original version. So make sure you watch that after this if that's something you want to start using for your business. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for, again, all the amazing support and your patience, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.